In today's video, me and a group of friends venture up towards the northern part of Michigan to chase the Lake State Railway's annual Santa train that runs from Flint, Michigan to Birch Run, Michigan, and then later moves the conces up to Saginaw, which then will later run from Pinconning all the way up to Grayling, Michigan. And since this train is going to be a multi-day kind of thing and my friends were going to be here for the whole weekend, we decided to do the entire chase from Flint all the way up to Grayling. Though we did not get this train in all the locations that it was going to go to in total, but we managed to still get some good shots. First, we catch him here at Francis Road in Mount Morris, Michigan by a couple of old WRS reverse configured incandescent color light signals, as well as an old crossing here. But from here, the chase begins, and with that said, I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas, since this is my special. Man, talk about a creepy horn. And once it cleared Francis Road, me and James tried to record the defect detector that was just down the line from this crossing, but for some reason it did not go off. So one of two things may have happened here. One, James was just on the wrong frequency on his scanner, or two, LSRC may have removed the detector and installed a brand new one further down the line, since there was a defect detector at milepost 8.8 that was pretty much just like it, but unfortunately LSRC took that one out and put a new detector at milepost 11. So after that fail, me and the boys relocated to Birch Run to catch the train pulling into town. But what LSRC ended up doing was they stopped the train somewhere on a siding just south of Birch Run, and then they later had the train proceeded to town because they had a scheduled time of its arrival, which was 5:30 p.m., and they had it stopped for about a half an hour because, well, we made it to Birch Run at around 5, and it headed north out of Flint at around 4, I believe. So after the waiting was over, here comes the train, and as well as a bunch of cops and a bunch of people who were here for the event. And just like that, here it is stopped in the middle of Birch Run, and we did have a few LSRC crews come over here and shut off the crossings. Now, that was pretty much it for the Saginaw sub. Now, the next morning, me and the boys went up to the Pinconning / Mackinaw sub to watch it pull into many different places around northern Michigan. First up here, we catch them in downtown Standish, and to our surprise, they actually swapped the power on this train in Saginaw with an SD70M instead of an SD40-2 like they had previously. And there it goes, right into the old Standish depot next to the grain elevator downtown. Now, me and the boys waited for a little bit, got some food, and then decided to go down another crossing to watch it depart, and then chase it up all the way to West Branch to where it's going to stop again for its next event that it's going to. And during this chase, things got pretty wild. It started snowing very heavily, which affected our speeds we could go, but we were able to make it successful, and we were able to meet up with some pretty chill people too, including a few bigger figures in the Midwest Railfan community, which was cool. So here it comes out of Standish, and let the second part of the chase begin. All right, next spot. And after listening to that very crunchy defect detector audio, we then rush to downtown West Branch and watch it pull in.
Right on the island circuit of this crossing here, downtown West Branch. Yep.
Though we quickly realized that this train wasn't actually going to be going through this crossing until it had to depart, so it just stopped right before it next to the depot. So then me and the boys got some good photos of it and then chilled for an hour, and then we came back over to this exact crossing and watched it depart.
Today in the whole video, it's going to be two separate ones.
Yeah, same. For both days. Yeah.
Next stop for the train is Roscommon. We're on our way north.
Keep booking it out of there.
And once the train was out of West Branch, he was accelerating fast, which needless to say made our trip a lot more wild, including a spin out on snowy dirt roads. But with that said, here was our chase segment to Roscommon. And once he was cleared of that spot we were just at, we then venture over to downtown Roscommon, which they did the same thing as they did in Birch Run and West Branch. They had the train stop and then continue into downtown when the right time was hit. While we were waiting, we also went into a model train shop and a few other attractions, which was really cool. And once he was close, here was our footage of him pulling in. And then after a while waiting, we then watched the train depart from Roscommon and, well, did the same thing as we did before the 3 other times and went to another crossing and continued to chase them from there. And just like that, here is the home stretch of the chase all the way to downtown Grayling, where it would continue to plow through snow-covered tracks. And this event was definitely the biggest of them all. There was tons of snowmobiles and people around, but that's okay because the scenery was cool. So with that said, here it is. And there it is, Santa's train stopped right here on the Lake State tracks in Grayling, Michigan, ready for its big event, and where the train will also terminate for now. So then, once it was done, some other funky stuff happened. The crossing down the line started malfunctioning. Well, we even caught this guy at a bunch of cool crossings in general, and we just hung out for a little bit, and I guess with that said, out of the way, here is the outro that I made for this video. And that's it. That concludes our journey. I don't know how many miles it was from Standish to here. It's about close to 100 miles.
Yeah.
For the Polar Express. Well, it's not the Polar Express. It is the Lake State Railway Santa train. Basically just a little less rundown version of the CSX Santa train. So what's up? Well, we got a malfunction. That's one thing for sure. This is a neat crossing. Nice and old. WRS mechanical bell and whatnot. Neat. So, I guess that said, this, I don't know.
Santa.
Well, let's see.
The Grinch woman.
That's the Grinch. Oh, it's Miss Claus. I guess that.
Right beside Mrs. Claus.
Yes. So, that said, I guess this concludes this very cold and yet really fun train chase. So, yeah. I guess with all that said,
Dunkelman Damon signing out.
yes, sir. That's the outro.